The client believed her ex-husband was a heavy drinker and would often drink hard liquor on a regular basis and was hoping that we could get evidence of this. The attorney for the case had asked us to conduct surveillance on a regular basis, some mornings, some evenings, to gather some intel so we could formulate a good plan of attack. Now, our surveillance revealed mostly routine activities, such as going to the grocery store, grabbing some fast food from time to time, doing some yard work, talking with the neighbors, taking the kids to school, and that sort of activity. Nothing really spectacular to report about. Now, one thing we did note while on surveillance, however, was that twice a week he would have a visit from his next door neighbor, usually Tuesday or Wednesday, and then again on Friday or Saturday night. The neighbor always had brought cardboard boxes or large bags of stuff with him, but he never left with those boxes and bags, and he would usually be there for several hours with the subject. On occasion, we would hear voices of people talking in the rear yard, but we could not tell what they were saying. And usually when this happened, if the kids were there, they would go down to the local park about 2 blocks away and play for a couple of hours. Now, the kids were like 6, 10, and 15 at the time, and you could actually see the park and the playground area from the house too. However, this was still really good information to include in our investigation. Now, after reporting this behavior to the attorney, we all sat down and we discussed further strategies with the client. This is when we got the idea that he may be drinking with his neighbor. But how are we going to prove it? This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. On discussing this, we decided to see if we could find evidence of him drinking in his trash. Obviously, whatever he may be drinking, there should be evidence in his trash, be it beer cans, liquor bottles, wine bottles, boxes, or whatever. Sounds easy, right? Yeah, right. Throughout surveillance, we observed that trash was being picked up on Tuesday mornings, usually right around 7 o'clock in the morning. We decided to set up surveillance with multiple operatives to ensure that it went well. Now, the plan was to have one gator watching the residence where our subject would put out the trash can and grab video of the event. We also had 2 other operatives parked several blocks away, and they would walk in to do the actual inspection of the trash receptacles. Now, much to our surprise, the subject had a little surprise up his sleeve for us. Now, I don't think that he knew he was being surveilled. We just believe that he did this out of an abundance of caution for potentially several reasons. Now, what we noticed was the subject would usually come out about 5 minutes before the trash truck arrives. He would take his trash cans out of the garage and put them out in the alley. Then shortly after the trash was picked up, he would go take the trash cans and put them back into his garage really quick. Now, this would seem a bit odd on most cases, but we are in Colorado, and in many of these rural areas, there is a lot of wildlife, such as lions, coyotes, and bears, oh my, and we don't want to encourage those critters to be getting into our trash. Now, as soon as he had brought the trash cans out, the observation gator radios the other gators, and they head over on foot. Now, they were about 3 blocks away, out of sight, so it took them a few minutes to get over to the trash cans. No sooner had they arrived than the trash truck comes around the corner and boom, he pulls right up to the trash. Now, these other gators were dressed in old clothes, hoping to look like a couple of homeless guys or just a couple of guys down on their luck and searching for treasures. They did get a glimpse inside one trash can, but didn't see anything. They did, however, hear what they thought were bottles clinking when the trash man dumped the can into the truck, so there was hope that a future attempt might be more successful. Now, the next week rolls around, we have a new plan up our sleeves. This time, the 2 gators on foot actually went into the alleyway, just a few houses down, and sat along some fences with a camera pointing down the alley so they could watch the screen and see when the subject brought the trash out. Subject exits the garage. He pulls one trash can out. Then he pulls the second trash can out, and then he goes back into the garage. The 2 gators on foot get up. They quickly head towards the trash cans. As they get within a few yards of the subject's garage, they suddenly see the subject coming back out, and he looks right at them. Now they are like, oh my goodness, are we busted? They quickly stopped. They started looking around at a house that they were near, and they started pointing at some things and talking as if they were discussing something. Out of the corner of their eye, they see the subject place a cardboard box inside one of the trash cans, and then he heads back into the garage. Emergency averted. They head quickly over to the trash can. They open up the lid, and they see that cardboard box sitting there. One gator is grabbing video of the 2 gators on foot. One of them is grabbing video of the trash can and its contents, and the third is going through the trash cans. Now, that first box was a gold mine. It got us the money shot. We opened it, and voila, there were several empty bottles of choice liquor inside. Several, being 6 if memory serves me correctly. Now, We did the same routine with some minor adjustments 2 more times and had similar results. The client was pleased beyond imagination, and it really helped when the case got back in front of the judge. Good planning, quick thinking, and having the right tools for the job was what made this dumpster dive investigation a huge success.